Okay, welcome to today's webinar. We're going to talk about the texting platform offered by OneEach Technologies. This is frequently a question of our customers. Texting is such a great technology out there, a good way to communicate, and OneEach has decided that it is a platform that we feel is important, that you need to know about and hopefully be utilizing with your customers. And we have set out to make this super easy for you to use. You can start and stop it as you like, and you can probably do it very cost effectively for yourself. And so let's take a look at this. So let's go ahead. My name's Allison James. I'm the presenter here today. Actually, sorry, Emily, I don't have you up on this, but I also have Emily joining me as well. Emily Bowen from our team, our lead trainer. She also is very versed in our texting platform and can help you as well should you have any questions.
Hi guys.
Yep. All right. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you joined in before we hit start, usually this presentation runs about 30 minutes long, sometimes a little longer, but it just depends on our questions. And please do ask questions in that question box. Here is the planned agenda for today. I'm going to tell you a bit about our texting platform. I'm going to show some samples of how our customers have used texting. We will go over pricing. We will have you participate in an active participation with some texting exercises. And then we'll just take a look at the details of the platform and what you get with what we have to offer. All right. So samples of how people use our texting platform. Here's the biggie. This is sometimes the only scope that people think of. And I'm going to take you beyond this scope, but I'm going to start with it because the first thing people, when they think, oh, I want to do texting, they think, I want to text to give. So let me explain to you where the world of text to give is at today. There is still a misconception out there that if I text happy to a number, I just gave $10. Boom, it's done. That capability doesn't exist. Why? Why does that capability not exist? Because if I text happy to a number, how are they getting my money? You got to think about it. Literally, my carrier, happens to be Verizon, would have to charge me $10 and then take $10 and give it to whoever gets it from that code. So if you work with anyone in the text to give world, understand that what you're texting when someone texts in a code is they're getting a link back, which takes them to the ability to give. And that's how ours works as well. So you have what we call a keyword. And if you can see my little screenshot that's up here on the right, my keyword in this sample happens to be United Way. I know I have a lot of non-United Ways on here. I apologize that my samples are going to be utilizing the United Way market. But I have the word United Way, and when they text the word United Way to 313131, which is something you can go ahead and do. In fact, it's an exercise I have you doing later on, but you could do it now if you want. You get a message back, and by clicking the link in the message, it takes them to the donation page. So here's what's really cool about Text to Give with us. That donation page resides on your website. The user experience is a really good user experience because they're not going to another tool. And you're capturing it in a tool you already have. You're capturing it in your website. And hopefully you're using that back end of your website. All of our website customers here today, you have that Civi CRM platform that captures all your donations. If you're utilizing our system to its capability, you're going to capture it all together. So that's a really cool thing. Also, what is super cool is that OneEach is one of the few vendors out there that have the ability for nonprofits to use Apple Pay. And so you can text a link, which has a link that they click on that gives them the ability from their phone, if they're an iPhone user and they have Apple Pay set up, to give $10 and put their thumbprint down and be done with it. And that is amazing. That is a really fast and efficient and easy way to give. Okay. So text to give is what we mostly think of. So now I'm going to throw kind of a whole conglomerate of other things out at you. Text to communicate is also where it's at. So also think about if you do start out with something like a text to give, once someone gives money or uses your texting platform and texts in with a word, a keyword like United Way, you have their cell phone number. You can now set them up into a communication group and you can send them regular messages. You can send announcements, you can send event invitations, registration cards. Pledge cards is something that a lot of our United Ways are doing right now as we hit campaign season. You could send them a link to a survey, notices. So something I did recently at a conference that actually went really well. I presented, and I think I have some Unities on here. I presented at a Unity Worldwide Ministries conference, and instead of having handouts as the presenter at the end, I said, I want you all to text in, fill out my survey from the presentation, and when you submit that, you will automatically get an email back with all of the presentation handouts and links and information about all the stuff we talked about today. So they happily filled it out to get that information. So they texted in. Now I have their cell phone numbers if I wanted to communicate with them further. I actually was doing it more to demonstrate our texting platform, but there are ways that you can engage people and save a few trees at the same time. I didn't walk in with a multitude of handouts. So some things to think of creatively as far as that texting goes. Reminders. Of course, you know, with some of our groups that we work with, our organizations, it's important to be able to tell of closures or weather-related closures or things that are going on too. So you can mass email out without them doing a text-in code as well. So once you have cell phone numbers, you could just send a group message out to the group. I just helped one of our organizations who was having a big event send a mass message out with a link to sign up for their big event coming up because they were trying to help their registration along. So they sent that out to everybody. Here's another sample of how our customers use our texting platform. And this is in what we call a live updating page. In this case, United Way, Source Valley United Way, had their annual celebration, and they had made goal that year. So in honor of making goal, they decided to kick off their 2017 campaign at that event and ask people to text in and give some money. This screen automatically updated as text came in. So what they did is this is a page, literally a page from their website. It's a report page. And they had it up on a monitor, you know, laptop attached, and they're connected to the internet, so it's updating itself. And they shot it on a screen. So here everyone's in this room and they're seeing on the screen, they're seeing it update and like the total roll up and the names filter through on who was giving and helping them jumpstart their campaign. It's a small United Way. They were very happy with how that proceeded for their event that they had. Another cool way that we've seen our customers use our texting platform is in an entire communication effort of a poll. So this was also at an annual event. This is also United Way. They were doing a discussion around their work in poverty, and they wanted to engage all of the people in the room about the work they're doing. So what they had is they had 4 different poll questions. And again, this is a live updating page, much like the one I just showed you that updated itself. This also was it's also a report from the system, actually from the texting system that they put up on the big screen. And as people decided their answers to their questions, A, B, C, or D, they texted in a different code for A and a different code for B and a different code for C and D, etc. And then the poll updated and they were able to see the results there. So now they've engaged people in a conversation on poverty. And now they got their cell phone numbers, and now they're in a group, and now they can send up follow-up messages about the work they're doing on poverty, and at some point, probably a message that says, give money for our work. Maybe a little nicer than that. So asking people to support the work that you're doing as well. Okay. Here is another sample of how our customers have used the texting platform. They've had people opt into a group. This was actually a school, it was a preschool, and they asked all the preschool parents to opt into their texting group, And then they send messages out, you know. And this one message that they sent out included an iCalendar link if you're an iPhone user, and an other calendar link if you do Androids or other calendar tools that they could click on that would give them the whole school year's calendar. And all a person would have to do when they clicked on it is hit add, and it adds to their phone calendar. I thought that was pretty slick way of communicating and giving people some dates. Imagine doing that with your board. Can't ever miss a meeting. So this is a screenshot of what the platform looks like, and we're going to go to an actual working version of it, but I got my pricing on here too, so just to let you guys see this. Our texting platform, as we offer it at One Each Technologies, is a pay-as-you-go system. There is no setup fee, and other than if you're going to hold on to a keyword every month, there's no other standing monthly fee. Keywords are optional. In the sample you saw on that screen, the keyword was United Way. If you own that keyword, you pay $15 a month for the keyword as a One Each customer, and you can start and stop the keyword whenever you want. So you might just have a big event and you want it up for a while. We've also done a lot of texting around disasters. Maybe you have a disaster in your area, let's hope not, but should you, having a text in for giving for disasters is an important thing to have available to you. So it might be a short-term deal. You don't need it for a super long period of time, or maybe a couple of months when the issue is hot. Our texting costs 5 cents per outgoing text. It is a pay-as-you-go system, which means you pre-purchase, almost like a calling card, your text that you're going to send out. So for $25, you get 500 text messages. That's 5 cents a text. So you spend $25 and you have 500 text messages in your texting platform, and they sit there and they wait for you. You use them in a week, you're going to want to buy more. But if it takes you several months to use up 500, they will wait. They don't expire. So the 500 text messages or however many you purchase will sit there until you use them up. The keyword you purchase as you go. This screenshot here shows you kind of the layout of the page. We'll go look at it some more, but you can schedule messages to be sent. You can tie them into groups. You can set up your keywords. Let's see, Jennifer has a question. Yes, so that's 5 cents per text message per recipient. So if you're sending out to 500 people, it's not 1 cent, it's 5 cents. It's 500 individual cell phone numbers. Each cell phone number that it goes to is 5 cents. Now the text coming in a lot of cases, the way this works is someone texts in. You text in United Way, that's going to generate a text out because you're going to do a follow-up text out to their text in. So it's a one cost. It's a 5 cents. They've texted in, it generates a text out, 5 cents for that text out to each number that goes out to. Yes. Great. But good question. All right. So go ahead and if you didn't do that, well, I already had that sample up. I'm going to have you do it now if you haven't. So grab your smartphone if you have one available to you. Start a text message. The number you're sending to is 313131. That is the number that we use for all our text messaging. So that is always the number that you'll utilize. If you've ever done this with me before, you might actually find that that number pops up. Just select it as a number to send to. What you are sending as your message, your keyword, is United Way. All together, no space. If it tries to spell it to something else, make sure it stays as United Way. Keywords, the capitalizations don't matter. So you can, it could all be caps locked, it could all be lowercase, that doesn't matter. So when you do that, you should get a message on your phone and click that link. And let's just take a look at where you're going to go with that once you do. Let's see if I can get out of my PowerPoint. And go back to my site. Here we go. So you should have gotten this page on your phone. Now, mind you, this page also exists on the website. So how do I get to the donation page for this United Way? Well, you could be on a computer and get to it that way, or you could text them and get a link from their phone. Okay. So, Pat, do you, on the texting in, we can do the text in one more time. I'll go through that again. Hold on. Because I do want to make sure everyone does this. Grab your smartphone and start a text message. The number that you put in the text message is 313131. So you know how you do a text message, a lot of times you put a person's name in? You can also text message straight to a number. So in this case, you're going to text message to the number 313131. And then in the message area where you send a message, go ahead and type out United Way and hit send. Once you do that, you should get a link back. And when you click that link, it will take you to this page. So now a person could make their contribution from their phone right here. They could set up recurring. So you build this page on your website. It could be short, it could be super simple, it could be long, it could be involved. But think about it, if you're doing it with the phone, you want it as short and simple as possible. Now, I don't have a payment processor configured on this one, so it just says donate by check. This is just a sample for you. But if you had obviously if you're set up, you would have your payment options on the bottom. They could pay by credit card, you could do Apple Pay, you could offer them the send in check option, and this would be a text to donate scenario. Okay. And we are recording this as well, just so you know. Let's go, we're going to do another sample on this. I'll just go to the next page without kicking it out to the presentation itself. This time, go back to your text message where you had that 313131 and do another message, but this time just do UW. Make sure it doesn't change to US. Make sure it stays UW. Capitalizations don't matter. And then hit send. And I'm happy to schedule one-on-one webinars with any of you if you've got further questions or you're not able to follow along. Maybe you don't have a smartphone available, and we can work through this together as well. So if you text UW to 313131, you will get a link back that takes you to a pledge card. So this is just another sample of another form or thing that you could have people do from their phone. Now, once you capture people's information and their names in here, you're able to go ahead and send messages back out to them. You can put them into a specific group and track who they are. So I'll show you a couple other samples of what our customers have done. Here is one recently with United Way of Monterey County. They had a Stuff the Bus campaign. So they had a text message, I think it was STB for Stuff the Bus, that people were texting in that brought them to this page that allowed them to say how many backpacks they wanted to donate and give money towards Stuff the Bus. So that's just an example of a page that people use to send out to. Another sample for you would be that live updating page. And I showed you a screenshot of this, but what's really cool to watch this one now, again, this is a report that they put up on their monitor during their event. Watch this black circle here over on the left. Every once in a while, you'll see a white ring run around it, and that's it updating. There it goes. It is a live updating page, so that means that every so many seconds, it refreshes itself. So this amount will change if people were actively contributing. This is over. This was back in February. You can see on here, if you look at the donors who gave, I have a couple of samples in here. I did it twice. The first time that I tested it out, my donation, I clicked the link and did it from my phone, and I used my credit card and punched it in from my phone, which is a little bit, of a deal to sit down and punch in your credit card. The second time I did it, I selected Apple Pay and did my thumbprint, which was much quicker. So both options are available. Okay. So taking a look at the texting platform itself, this is what it looks like. When you log in and you have an account, you're going to be able to see messages. So we have new messages in here. So I will be able to tell you guys who have texted in and who have opted out by clicking stop, which is fine. I'm not going to inundate anyone with messages from coming to this webinar, I promise you. But you're able to see who's texted in and at least the cell phone numbers and what they're messaging in with. You can set them up in groups and contacts. You can, anybody who texted in could be tied into a certain group. So this platform is very easy to use. We will work with you and show you how to use it, but anyone who's texted in from a demo might drop into a certain group, and if I wanted to message out, I can. I can promise you I don't do messages out to this group from our trainings because I would find that annoying, so I don't do that to you. You also can come out here and set up your keywords and pick which keywords you want. So what keywords you want to use and what message they get with the keywords. So this platform is the platform that you would purchase into. Again, there's no setup fee, and the monthly fee is $15 a month if you use a keyword. Otherwise, it's 5 cents per text out. Our team's here to help you and guide you as you do this, but most people find it really easy to use once they get going with it. So if you want to generate a new message, I could send a group message out to everyone from a certain group. I could pick specific phone numbers, and then I can decide what my message is. Just like you find with a lot of things, the character limit is there. I can schedule when it's delivered and decide when I want it to go out or send out right away. Okay? Let's see, how are we doing? Questions? If you're interested in getting going with our texting platform, just to show you, app.oneeach.com is where you come to log into the texting platform. And if you don't have an account, you simply click on Register Now, and you can create an account. Everyone who comes in and creates an account, you get 10 text messages for free. It doesn't cost you anything to register for an account. So you can do it just to test it out and see how to use it. And then once you've done that, you need to let us know before you start purchasing, because we'll set you up with your rate, which is the OneEach customer rate. So as long as you're a current customer of OneEach Technologies, you get a special rate than others who would come in who are not customers. Yours is 5 cents a text. If they're not a OneEach customer, it's 8 cents a text. So you certainly want to make sure we have your rate set up for you. All right, let's go back to our PowerPoint. All right, we did just take a look at the platform. I showed you how that system works. So just as a reminder on some of the things we talked about what this is, it is a pay-as-you-go system. We are going to have links when you send them out that take them back to your website. So the user experience is a good one. They're not going to another platform. You are going to be able to get their cell phone numbers by doing this. The cost is 5 cents per outgoing text and $15 per month to keep a keyword. You have the ability to have things like live updating pages, and you can schedule this communications. This is all part of how this works. Some important points for you to note. It's pay as you go. I said that several times, but you know, you're not locked into a program for a year or for any length of time at all. You pay as you go. You can start and stop those keywords as you want and purchase as you want to. You can set up groups. So you can have a bunch of different groups. You know, maybe it's by the date that you did an event. It's by an event itself. It's by a workplace campaign. It could be by a ministry or a youth group or staff or volunteers. Meals on Wheels, it could be your drivers. It could be a lot of different groups that you select from that you set up as a group with all their cell phone numbers in it so you can message out. If you are getting cell phone numbers on your own, you don't need the keyword for people to text in. The keyword for people to text in is great for an event. But if you're just using this for the more text to communicate kind of method, you might not need the keyword. You can schedule your communication, schedule it out ahead of time, have it planned, be efficient in what you're doing. So integrates with your website data, and by that I mean if they're going to donate, if you do that text to donate kind of thing, you're actually getting that donation data right into the website. So long as you're using our donation platform through your website, you're capturing it in that same place. That's a consistency for them, and it's easier for you. And this is my last screen, and I will put a shout out there that Emily's on as well, and it's emily@oneeach.com. We are definitely here to help you. If you're interested in using the texting platform, let us know. If you would like a private webinar to go through it in more detail, I'm happy to schedule those as well. But we've recorded this. We're going to send out the recording. We're going to send out the presentation in a PDF format so that you have that to take a look at. And I invite you to ask any questions you have at all. Emily, if you're still out there, if you have anything to chime in or add in about our platform, I welcome your comments.
Nope, you did a great job. And I was answering some questions that were in the question box. So again, if you want to schedule any extra time or if you have any other questions, Allison and I are always happy to help out.
Okay. Yep, and we are happy to assist you with this. So we will also, like if you do something for an event, we'll do trial runs with you. You can test out to make sure things work well. One thing we do encourage, we've had this with events before, is make sure that there is decent Wi-Fi in the area where you're wanting to do a texting thing at a big event. There's stuff like that. So we can troubleshoot through any questions or any issues you might be concerned about to make sure that everything goes smoothly for what you're doing. Okay. All right. Well, I thank you all very much for your time today. And unless you have any other questions, I will give you some time back in your day. So enjoy your day. And we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you all very much.